Should you genuinely wish to comprehend the nature of the person at your side, to discern with whom you are truly dealing, not by her words, but by her very internal constitution, you must strategically remove yourself from the equation. You must withdraw your presence from her field of perception, not as an act of caprice or offense, but as a maneuver of cold, calculated strategy. For a woman's true character is not revealed in moments of admiration, when your proximity creates a sphere of comfort for her. It is unveiled in the pause, in the calculated absence, in that specific vacuum where the illumination of your presence is no longer a factor. Only within this resultant shadow does it become clear whether she has been living by her own coordinates or if she has merely been inhabiting your attention, a form of mimicry perfectly adapted to the light of your focus. The authentic essence of a woman is not ascertained during shared dialogues, romantic evenings, or periods of emotional intimacy. It manifests in silence, in the unsupported space, in those intervals where the man disappears to advance his mission, leaving the woman alone with herself and with the boundaries he has established. The woman who loses her respect, her concentration, and her form in the absence of your attention is not a partner. This is not an alliance. It is a dependency masquerading as closeness, a construct in which you are the generator and she is a consuming system, utterly devoid of its own internal power source. A truly mature woman does not require constant validation, for her stability is an internal quality, and her respect is not built upon a perpetual influx of emotions or words. If chaos awakens within her the moment your presence is withdrawn, it signifies that she was not walking with you, she was hanging on you. Such a woman will be incapable of marching at your side when you must move in solitude, to build, to focus, to remain silent in the profound depths of your own trajectory. It is not you she requires, it is the light that you emit. Most men fear to retreat because they fear confronting the truth. They fear that by removing themselves, they will lose the one they considered an ally. But herein lies the very substance of the test. The one who remains steadfast in the shadows, not because she is forced to, but because she has chosen structure over attention, she is the true rarity. All others are merely skilled at shining in the light, only to vanish into the silence. Therefore, you must withdraw your emotions. You must dismantle your romantic projections and renounce the need for constant contact. Observe who she is when the reward of your presence is removed, when no words are spoken, no messages are sent, no signals of approval are transmitted. A woman who requires ceaseless attention to maintain her own discipline cannot withstand the reality of being alongside a man who possesses a defined vector and a long-term strategy. Such a woman is not a partner. She is a destructive element who demands energy but offers no support to the architecture within which that energy is being directed. Too many men live under a form of hypnosis, a fear that whispers, if I become colder, more focused, if I retreat into myself, she will leave. And to that, the only logical response is, so be it. Let her depart to a place where men are entertained rather than respected. Because the life of a mature man is not a spectacle for an audience. It is a construction site where every second, every exertion, every moment of silence is a brick laid in the foundation of his future. A woman incapable of being a part of this construction becomes its weakest link, and he cannot afford to entertain such a risk. A woman worthy of standing beside a man who builds does not demand his attention. She is integrated into his mission. Her respect does not require external triggers, and her form does not disintegrate without his light upon her. She maintains her own pace even in solitude because she understands a fundamental principle. If she remains loyal to the trajectory, she will receive everything, your intimacy and your respect. And if she does not, she will receive only silence. It is in this silence that her essence will be revealed, either as an alliance or as a deception. Therefore, retreat. Take a deliberate step to the side. Remove your presence from the background of her life and observe. For as long as you are near, any woman can appear to be the correct one, but only a singular one will remain loyal when you have departed for the front lines of your life and not merely for a dinner date. Among the most perilous falsehoods being imposed upon the modern man is a doctrine that sounds deceptively noble, that her past is not your concern, that her history is her own private space. You are told to be above it, to be so confident that you will not care, to refrain from judgment, for it is unworthy of a strong man. Under the guise of psychological maturity, what is being sold to you is detachment, but in reality it is a self-inflicted state of strategic ignorance. It is the voluntary forfeiture of your right to forecast. For her past is not a mere collection of dates and names. It is a cartographic record of her recurring decisions, an archive of her behavioral templates, and a direct projection of the manner in which she will inevitably engage with you. And if you choose to close your eyes to this data, you are not being magnanimous, you are being catastrophically reckless. A woman is not a blank slate. No one enters your life from a vacuum. Every individual possesses a biography, but what is of critical importance is not the mere fact of past mistakes, but their essence, their rhythm, their underlying philosophy. Was her history a story of growth, of discipline, of the forging of character? Or was it a succession of intoxicating catastrophes in which the responsibility always resided with someone else? A woman whose past is strewn with ashes is far more likely to bring fire into your life than water. She does not build, she reproduces cycles. And if you have decided that you will be her sole exception, know this: you are simply the next scene in a relentlessly repeating script. The man who convinces himself that, with me, it will be different, is no different from a gambler who willfully ignores statistical probability. He is not a romantic, he is profoundly naive, because behavior is, at its core, a study in predictability, and the past is the most honest articulation of the future. A woman who has been unfaithful before will not begin with a clean slate at your side. She will simply adapt her well-established schemes. She is not searching for a new path, she is searching for a new participant in an old game. Society may impose upon you a mandate of tolerance. I, however, propose the cultivation of discernment. They will tell you not to judge. I tell you that you are obligated to analyze. For in this choice, you are selecting not only a woman, but a specific portfolio of risks. Her principles, her reactions, her established mode of conduct with the men who preceded you, all of these elements will one day make a claim on your capital, your energy, and your name. And if you say yes in a situation that demanded a resolute depart, you are, in effect, signing a contract for your own eventual destruction. A strong man is not defined as one who can endure any woman. A strong man is one who can gaze upon her life's trajectory without pity and ask himself one precise, dispassionate question: if I were not emotionally invested, would I entrust my legacy to her? If the answer is no, then to remain with her is not an act of courage, it is an act of meticulous self-annihilation. The truth is that nearly every man knows, on an instinctual level, when a woman is not the one. He feels it long before she begins to dismantle his system, yet he remains silent, paralyzed by the weight of his own sunk costs, by the fear of starting anew, and by the sentimental lie that love can conquer all. But love does not conquer chaos, it merely postpones the inevitable reckoning. A woman with a history of profound instability, who has demonstrated no discipline in the present, is a ticking bomb. You will not diffuse her with affection, you will simply be standing at ground zero when the detonator is finally triggered. True understanding does not arrive when everything has already collapsed around you. It arrives at the first moment you are willing to admit a fundamental truth. If she has been destructive before you, she will be destructive with you, not because you are flawed, but because you failed to interrupt the chain of events, because you chose blindness over sight. And when a man refuses to see, he forfeits his right to lead.